Police shooting of black man stirs unrest in Wisconsin City. This is from the Star Tribune. Welcome back to the Daily Facts. Okay, well, I don't know what to say here. Before I get into the article, we already know the George Floyd, how that ended. Actually, it started the riots. People being shot and killed, over 30 people are dead because of this. It's interesting, like people died because George Floyd died. I don't think that he would want people to die because he died, but that's what happened. We had CHOP, where they took over a portion of their city. I mean, it's just a lot of really bad things came out of it. Uh, of course, businesses in large downtown cities, they were busted, windows were busted, they were rioting and looting. Black Lives Matter was spray painted on walls and doors, on the ground. I mean, it was just unrest. And, it's easy for some people to say, well, the police should just stop shooting people. Okay, well, maybe long term that could be a possibility, but they have a job to perform. Let's get into it. Let's see what has happened. Let's try to find out about this person that's been shot and go from there. So this is in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Kenosha became the nation's latest flashpoint city in a summer of racial unrest after police shot and wounded a black man. Okay, well, there we go right there. He was shot and wounded. Okay, so he's not shot and dead. He is shot and wounded. Apparently in the back. Okay, well, that's probably not such a good thing, but let's keep going. As he leaned into his SUV while his 3 children sat in the vehicle. Okay, now, I don't know why you would shoot someone in their back. That's a problem. Protesters set cars on fire, smashed windows, and clashed with officers in riot gear Sunday night, while Democratic Governor Tony Evers and Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden immediately condemned the shooting of 29-year-old Jacob Blake, who was hospitalized in serious condition. Okay, well, I mean, I think that Joe Biden and Tony Evers should just cool their heels and let's wait and see for things to come out, a little more facts. If this is fresh, right? It's new. All right, police in the former auto manufacturing center of 100,000 people midway between Milwaukee and Chicago said Blake was shot while they were responding to a call about a domestic dispute. They did not immediately disclose the race of the 3 officers at the scene or say whether Blake was armed or why police opened fire, and they released no details on the domestic dispute. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, we all know who Ben Crump is. It's as if he's the only Black attorney that can handle these high profile cases. He handled Trayvon Martin, the Ben Crump. Oh, he also, that's right, he represents the Blake family. Said Blake was trying to do the right thing by intervening in a domestic incident. Well, Blake is shot in his back and in critical condition. So we probably need to hear from him and maybe the people that were there, and maybe the police officers, okay, to make such a statement, he was simply trying to do the right thing, doesn't really tell us what his actions were. But let's keep going. The officers were placed on administrative leave. Well, that's standard. Right, standard practice in a shooting by police, while the state justice department investigates. And Kenosha County imposed an 8 p.m. curfew to try to head off another round of violence Monday night. Very smart, because, luckily this guy is not dead. But if we get wind that he has died of his injuries, we may be in a bit of a dilemma here. We may, there could be some things that jump off if this person dies, because it's an act out first and then ask questions later. It's not cool your heels and let's see what happened. Who was this person? Did he have a gun? Was there a gun under the seat? I mean, there's all sorts of things that need to come out. So we just need to wait. The shooting happened around 5 p.m. Sunday and was captured from across the street on cell phone video that was posted online. Kenosha police do not have body cameras. Okay. I'm not sure a body camera would have stopped what happened. In the footage, Blake walks from the sidewalk around the front of his SUV to his driver's side door as officers follow him with their guns pointed and shout at him. As Blake opens the door and leans into the SUV, an officer grabs his shirt from behind and opens fire while Blake has his back turned. Well, okay, I see the problem here. I see a problem. Do you see it? Do you see it? The police officer shouts at him. All right, their guns are pointed and they shout at him. It sounds like he just keeps on moving and opens his door. Now that is any police officer. I mean, he could have an Uzi in there. They have to act. But I don't know. There's going to be an investigation. Okay, 7 shots can be heard, though it isn't clear how many struck Blake or how many officers fired. During the shooting, a Black woman can be seen screaming in the street and jumping up and down. Okay, well, I guess she's scared, but I don't know if screaming and jumping up and down is going to help matters. I mean, yes, that's how you express yourself, but you might want to try to be as cool as you can. Okay, while we do not have all of the details yet, the governor said in a statement, "What we know for certain is that he is not the first Black man or person to have been shot or injured or mercilessly killed at the hands of individuals in law enforcement in our state or country." Well, that's true. And there's all kinds of people. There's white people that are shot. I don't see uprising when that happens. There's Asian people. People get shot by police all the time, and they're not just Black males. Biden called for an immediate, full, and transparent investigation. Well, why wouldn't there be a full and transparent investigation? Would there be a half full and non-transparent investigation? This morning, the nation wakes up yet again with grief and outrage that yet another Black American is a victim of excessive force. But we don't know that. This is fresh. It takes time to investigate. You may think it's cut and dry. It is not. It is not. He said, just over 2 months before Election Day in a country already roiled by the recent deaths of George Floyd in Minneapolis, Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta, and Breonna Taylor in Louisville, Kentucky, those shots pierced the soul of our nation. Now, those are all Black people, but I'm sure that there were white people that were shot. And I think that if there is an issue with the police and them shooting people and maiming them or killing them, maybe that is a problem. But all types of people are being shot. It's not just Black men. But we come to our news each and every day, and that's all we see. All right, let's keep going. Republicans and the police union accuse the politicians of rushing to judgment. Thank you. I agree. Reflecting the deep partisan divide in Wisconsin, a key presidential battleground state, Wisconsin GOP members also decried the violent protest, echoing the law and order theme that President Donald Trump has been using in his re-election campaign. Okay, but he's directing a lot of that law and order to people that are rioting, like breaking into Gucci in downtown Chicago. So that's more of the law and order. He wasn't talking about police officers potentially doing their job. Okay. As always, the video currently circulating does not capture all the intricacies of a highly dynamic incident. That's right. Peter Dietz, president of the Kenosha Police Union, said in a statement, he called the governor's statement wholly irresponsible, and it is, because it flames the fire. It fuels the fire, rather. Online court records indicate Kenosha County prosecutors charged Blake on July 6 with sexual assault, trespassing, and disorderly conduct in connection with domestic abuse. An arrest warrant was issued the following day. The records contain no further detail and do not list an attorney for Blake. All right, so this individual was charged with sexual assault, trespassing, and disorderly conduct in connection with domestic abuse. I'm not going to rail on him either. We don't know. I mean, he has to have his day in court. He was charged with that. He wasn't convicted of it. Doesn't mean that he should have lost his life. But again, I don't know the specifics. It was unclear whether that case had anything to do with the shooting. Lakeisha Booker, who was Blake's partner, told NBC's Milwaukee affiliate, WTMJ-TV, that the couple's 3 children were in the back seat of the SUV when police shot him. And those kids will never be the same. The man just literally grabbed him by his shirt and looked the other way and was just shooting him, with the kids in the back screaming. Screaming, Booker said. That's tragic right there. Crump, the attorney who has also represented the Floyd and Taylor families, called the police officers' actions irresponsible, reckless, and inhumane, and added, it's a miracle he's still alive. But Mr. Crump, you were not present. And even if you did see the video, it's still, there's an investigation needs to happen. And you should know that as an attorney. You should not be coming out making those kinds of statements, because it will anger all the wrong people and we'll end up with another, riot. Another George Floyd incident, and we don't want that. You have a responsibility to not cause that to happen. Oh my gosh. In the unrest that followed, social media posts showed neighbors gathering in the surrounding streets and shouting at police. Some chanted, "No justice, no peace." Already you're chanting no justice, no peace when you don't even know the specifics. Others appeared to throw objects at officers and damage police vehicles. Officers fired tear gas to disperse the crowds. In a scene that mirrored the widespread protests in recent months over police brutality and racial inequality, marchers headed to Kenosha County, of course they did, public safety building, which houses the police and sheriff's departments. Authorities mostly blocked off the building, which officials said was closed on Monday because of damage. Oh my goodness, this is Wisconsin's Republican Assembly Majority Leader Jim Steinke cautioned the public and elected officials against racing towards judgment, given how few details were known. Do you notice how Republicans are more, let's just wait it out. Let's just not wait it out, but let's just wait and see. We don't know everything. I mean, this just happened. Let's just wait. And then Democrats are, let's just get the lynch mob. The frustration and anger that many in our communities are feeling must be met with empathy, but cannot be further fueled by politician statements or actions that can stoke flames of violence, tweeted Steinke, who is white. I mean, who does it matter if he's white? For more than 100 years, Kenosha was an auto manufacturing center, but it has now largely been transformed into a bedroom community for Milwaukee and Chicago. The city is about 67% white, 11.5% black, and 17.6% Hispanic, according to 2019 census data. Both the mayor and the police chief are white. About 70% of the population lives in poverty. Like other cities across the U.S., Kenosha has been grappling with unemployment in the midst of coronavirus outbreak. Its unemployment rate was 10.8% in June, among the highest in the state. And I think that's a fair point, because, a lot of things are happening. I mean, look at New York. At one point, their crime was up 117% or something like that. So there's a lot of frustration building, and it's just coming to a head. And for some people, it just bursts wide open. So that's it. We'll just wait and see. He's, he's still alive. So that's a good thing. All right. So thanks for stopping by the Daily Facts. I hope you enjoyed. If you feel so inclined, leave a comment and like, share, and subscribe. Take care. Bye.